All right, guys, thank you for joining me as per usual. I noticed today, Wednesday, was last minute. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get out of work in time to do this. Uh, Clearly, I was, so here I am. Normally, I try to do this around, 12, 11, but whatever. It was what it was. Got out of work a little late. So let's get started with the obnoxiously long 5 by 5s. I heard myself. I think it's good. Thank you, Mr. Landfill. Appreciate that. Jugga, Joaf, thank you for the 5 by 5. Appreciate it. Jason, Live Free, Eric, Water Tiger, thank you for the 5 by 5. Chair K, thank you for the 5 by 5. All right, so let's get on with this. This is not going to be too long. It's probably going to be 15 minutes, maybe 20. And then I got to get ready to go back to work. Go figure. Became a working stiff. So, as we know, guys, for the foreseeable future, things are going to get a lot worse on all fronts, right? So not just the thing that's going on over in the Middle East, but here in the United States as well. We're going to see saw a Black Hawk flying over the Hudson River. We're going to see a lot of stuff happening within this country. So we did have the FBI warn, right? He was warning everybody about the increased amount of activity amongst a certain group of people, Muslims, that are going to increase between now and all of next year. I've been hearing from a lot of different sources, and a lot of us knew this already, but a lot of the stuff that I was thinking and have said before is not being confirmed, but also being echoed that next year is going to be one hell of a year. It's going to be pretty shitty for everyone. So I don't think anybody's going to be able to escape this. There are people, guys, who are walking around with their heads in the ground, believing that this BS that's going on all over the world is going to miss them. It's going to go right over them. Right? That's part of being scared. That's part of being delusional. So with that, the heads up from a lot of people are saying that next year could be really, really bad. Some people are saying it will be really, really bad. I don't want to go that far. I'm going to say it could be. So let's start out with the one thing we're going to start noticing a lot more frequently, and that's people suddenly passing away. I can't tell you how many articles this week of people passed away within the last week. Now, obviously, guys, you also have an increase in people passing away for another reason, and that's because of fentanyl. We will see, guys, an increase in fentanyl deaths. Um, that's definitely going to be, sorry, that's definitely going to be something we're going to see more of. As this gets away from people, the drugs that is, as it starts getting away from people, we're definitely going to see more people, especially celebrities, dying from this. Because, and this is not what I was going to actually talk about, it just sort of segued into it. But we're definitely seeing way more celebrities pass away out of nowhere. And a lot of them are starting to look back on it and go, oh, it could have been a drug overdose, which is 9 times out of 10 these days, fentanyl. But we're seeing something that I've said before, that other doctors have said before, that we're going to see an increase in people not waking up and or passing away because of the arm ticket. Now, of course, guys, sorry. Now, of course, guys, with that being said, there was a poll that was taken last week. Well, I'm not even sure how long ago it was taken. But 1 in 4 Americans knows someone who died of the arm ticket. 1 in 4 Americans, that is. That's not even every other place in the world. 1 in 4 knows someone directly that died from the arm ticket. So, several recent polls suggest that Americans are increasingly wary of the Mr. 19 arm ticket. A new poll found that about a quarter of Americans believe someone they knew died from Mr. 19 arm ticket, while another recent survey found that a growing number of Americans are increasingly wary of the arm ticket. People are now waking up, guys, to the fact that the arm ticket is causing this. There was a guy at my job. He wholeheartedly believed in this. He believed in the arm ticket. He was like, this is it's going to save people, it's going to save lives, and how do you know it's going to X off this amount of people? I go, because it's logic, man. When you rush something out and you don't have any real research and or study under it, people are undoubtedly going to get sick or pass away. Now, about 2 years later, he's starting to see it because he's starting to hear more of it. There are people in my job, firefighters, that are coming down, guys, with ailments that the job and the doctors cannot explain. There are guys that are developing. One guy developed some kind of intestinal ailment where he had to wear a colostomy bag for 6 months. He was out of work for 8 or 9 months because of this. So people are starting to wake up to this fact, guys. And this is good, but how long is it going to last? So in a poll from Rasmussen report, it was found that about a quarter of Americans, or 24%, believe someone they knew passed away from Mr. 19's arm ticket side effect. The poll was taken, November 2nd, so it was last week, and about 69% said they do not know anyone who died from said arm ticket. About half of America, or 47%, said that they knew someone who died from Mr. 19, while 49% said they don't know anyone who died from the illness. It added that among those who say someone they knew died from Mr. 19's virus, 41% also said they knew someone who died from the side effects of the arm ticket. By contrast, among those who say they don't know anyone who died from Mr. 19, only 9% said they knew someone who died from the arm ticket. So they said, in contrast, for those who didn't know anyone who died from the virus, only 9% of those people said they knew someone who died from the side effect of the arm ticket. So now the pollster noted that they didn't take into political accounts. So they didn't ask any political questions to differentiate the two, which is getting old, right? But I am starting to see liberals, at least with my own two eyes and with my own two ears, I'm starting to see liberals who are starting to wake up. They're like, something's not right. There was somebody I know, I worked with him, in fact. He just suffered a massive stroke out of nowhere. This guy was one of the healthiest guys in the world. And out of nowhere, just I think a week or two ago, he had a massive stroke. He didn't pass away. He's still here. But nonetheless, guys, we're going to start seeing more and more of that, especially for people who can't wait to get the new updated version of the arm ticket, because we're also seeing a lot of that. We're seeing people still wait online for the arm ticket, the new version, the updated version, if you will. So it's we're definitely, guys, come 2024, we're going to see an increase in it. I wouldn't say it's going to become apocalyptic, at least not yet, but we're definitely going to see an increase in this going on. All right, moving right along, guys. The U.S. rejects occupation of Gaza by Israel after Hamas conflict. So, though a lot of people are theorizing that Israel wants Gaza the Gaza Strip rather, because they want to open up a port in the, what is it, the Mediterranean Sea, whatever sea that is, right against it. That Israel wants that port. It's why that they let this happen and all that other bullshit. Listen. I'm convinced Israel let this happen. That you can't make me. You can't convince me otherwise that Israel didn't let this happen. There are too many signs as to what is going on. But yeah. Well, Joe, yes, Joe. A lot of people don't want it, and jobs are not requiring it, but there are still morons waiting online on their own free will to get these arm ticket updates. So anyway, the United States said Tuesday that it opposes any reoccupation of Gaza by Israel after the Israeli leader suggested that his country would take control of security in Gaza after its conflict against Hamas. Now, yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, I read an article saying that once Hamas is gone, Israel was going to take over control and give the people of Gaza the security and freedom they want and need. That was out of, I think it was Netanyahu's speech. During a free press briefing on November 7th, yesterday, right? Was it yesterday? State Department Deputy Spokesperson Palette said that the United States does not support any forced relocation of Palestinian people outside of the war-torn Gaza. Our viewpoint is that Palestinians must be at the forefront of the decision, and Gaza is Palestinian land, and it will remain Palestinian land. That is a big statement to make, because now you're going to A, force Israel's hand, or B, confront Israel when the time comes. Because I shit you not, guys, Israel's looking to occupy Gaza. There is no if, and, or buts about it. Now, this is definitely going to become a problem when the time comes. I don't see Israel giving this up lightly. We shall see. After the general speaking, we do not support reoccupation of Gaza, neither does Israel. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken was fairly clear about that during his travel as well. So it looks like they had to convince Israel not to do this. But again, Israel had a different speech yesterday. Mr. Patel said that Washington, however, agreed with Israel that there is no returning to October 6th status quo before the Hamas launched their terror attack on Israel on October 11th, killing over 1,400 people and taking more than 200 hostages. Israel and the region must be secured, and so Gaza. And Gaza can no longer be base from which launch terror attacks against people of Israel or anyone else. So this is going to be pretty interesting. And the Hamas-Israel thing, guys, is not going to end anytime soon. I don't see it ending anytime soon. I think we have years of this bullshit before it comes to an end. Now, this is back to the arm ticket. I guess I should have lined this up a little better, but whatever. Billions, guys, listen to this. Billions of copies of residual DNA in a single dose of the arm ticket, mRNA arm ticket. A new preprint study up for peer review finds billions of residual DNA fragment inside the arm ticket. Now, this arm ticket was specifically by Pfizer. That's where they found the DNA. Now, I told you about a doctor a couple weeks ago who was standing before, I think, senators, talking about how he found the DNA in the arm ticket and how he was trying to be careful as to not accuse them of doing this deliberately, because if they did this deliberately, this would have been a criminal act. He said this would have been malicious if they did it criminally. If they did it on purpose. He's trying to stay away from thinking they did it on purpose. But now this is drawing a lot of attention. After he stood in front of senators and congressmen, now this is gaining a lot of attention as you're seeing more articles on this. The lead author of the study, molecular virologist David Spinster, who has a doctorate in virology, told Epoch Times that the study is the largest study of residual DNA in the arm ticket to date. In our study, we measured DNA copies of Spike, or I don't know what ORI is, origin of replication, and SV40 enhancer genes. The loads of SV40 enhancer promoters, ORIs, and virus spikes in the Pfizer thing are up to 186 billion copies per dose. Now, keep in mind, guys, these are not blank DNAs. I didn't know there was such a thing, but there's a blank DNA that you can put into these arm tickets. That's what's supposed to go in there originally. Instead, it didn't. They were coded DNAs. They had code to them. That's why the doctor was trying to figure out why there was coded DNA in the arm ticket. Go fucking figure. He says the spikes we refer to is the DNA sequence of the Mr. 19 CoV2 spike protein, which can be transcribed to spike mRNA to be used in a Mr. 19 arm ticket to be translated to spike proteins. The other two DNAs, SV40 enhancer genes and ORI, were to help facilitate the replication of the spike DNA. This lies the problem, guys, because as the doctor talked about it, the professor, he said that the SV40 was a catalyst for an increase in cancers. Again, put that in the back of your head, because what are we seeing now happen? An increase in cancers. However, the final mRNA arm ticket should only include RNA, not residual DNA instructions for the spike production. Again, guys, that presents a giant fucking problem. But we are seeing that problem unfold now. We are seeing more and more people come down with cancers. So there goes that. Sorry, give me 2 seconds. Trying to figure something else. All right. So, guys, this death that just passed, that just happened the other day, of a 69-year-old Jewish man, Paul Kessler, changed the game. This guy was protesting, essentially minding his business with his sign, his little Jew sign, and a Palestinian or pro-Palestinian protester hit him in the face with a bullhorn or megaphone. I keep calling it a bullhorn. That's how old I am. And hit him in the face. The guy hit the ground and died. Now, when I was talking about it, someone goes, well, the bullhorn didn't kill him. The fall to the ground did. That's like saying the bullet didn't kill him. The bleeding out did. Anyway, 69-year-old Jewish man died Monday after dueling with a pro-Palestinian and pro-Israeli protester near Los Angeles, allegedly turned violent. And authorities have not ruled out the possibility of his death as a hate crime and or homicide, though the next day, or today rather, they're labeling it, they're looking at it as a homicide and a hate crime. Paul Kessler died early Monday from head injuries sustained Sunday afternoon at a protest in Thousand Oaks, Venture County. Sheriff Jim, whatever the fuck his name is, confirmed. Investigators are now piecing together the moment before Kessler, an avid supporter of Israel, seemingly fell backwards and suffered a skull fracture, swelling, and bruising on the brain. In the video, he was still alive. They got him in the ambulance, still alive. He got to the hospital. He passed away. The prime suspect in the confrontation was identified as a 50-year-old resident nearby Moore Park, though Sheriff, whatever the fuck his last name, declined to provide their name. The individual was cooperative at the scene. He was in the video. You see him on the scene. He's the guy in the gray shirt. The individual was cooperative at the scene on the incident on Sunday and was even part of a group that called 911. So I like how they try to lump him in there as he hits the guy in the face with the megaphone or bullhorn. He falls to the ground. Then they try to sneak him in there. Well, he was even part of the group that called 911. The fuck out of here with that bullshit. Anyway, that's like, well, the shooter shot the guy, but he called 911. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, this is the New York Post, by the way. There was even a Muslim woman there who was trying to help him. And keep in mind, the Kessler was surrounded by pro-Palestinians as he was fucking dying on the ground. The Muslim chick goes, somebody want to give him the scarf so we can wrap his head? And not one person gave him that stupid kafir, a kashish scarf, or whatever the fuck it's called, K-way, that stupid scarf they wear. No one gave up their scarf to wrap his head. So, again, they were all in on him. And not that wrapping his head was going to keep him alive. It really wasn't. But anyway, anyone who witnessed the alleged confrontation is encouraged to come forward to the Ventura County Sheriff's Office. So, of course, guys, with all of this Israeli shit going on, we are watching people tear down signs left and right, and people are shaming them, and these very people, same people, are losing their jobs. But a New York City public defender, Victoria Reus, resigned after being caught tearing down Israeli Hamas hostage posters. The New York County public defender, who was caught brazenly tearing down posters of hostages missing in the Israel-Hamas conflict war, resigned from her position. The 36-year-old asshole decided to leave New York City Council Defender Service after she was captured on a viral video last week tearing down signs that were plastered across New York City. These people are going out of their way to rip these down, by the way. The New York City Council Public Defender, who was identified as the person tearing down the poster in the video, was a non-for-profit watchdog. She was a watchdog for stopping anti-Semitism, yet she was taking part in ripping down signs. Go fucking figure. Anyway, guys, with that, there was another girl, two girls from a college that were ripping down signs as well. There's a video of them. The college didn't suspend them. Listen, I don't think the college should suspend them. These are kids making poor choices. Let the job world figure that out for them. Colleges shouldn't actually be suspending kids for doing this shit, especially if it didn't happen on the property, right? I mean, it's we can't have it both ways, right? You want freedom of speech, you want freedom of action. That's what it looks like. That being said, the job place, if she was going to get hired somewhere, didn't want to hire her, so be it. So the Washington, D.C. rally, guys, real quick, was said to have been over 10,000 people. We saw the rally. We saw what that looked like. That looked like a shit show. And also, one last thing. This is a heads up. Supposedly tomorrow, on November 9th, there is a Shut It Down for Palestine. The Shut It Down for Palestine right now, guys, is a call to action. They want you to walk out from work or school, picket Israel embassies or consulate, picket against companies that profit from Israel's occupation of Palestine, again, which is bullshit. There is no occupation of Palestine. They gave a list of companies: Lockheed Martin, Boeing, Raytheon, Northrop Grumman, General Dynamics, and Elbite Systems. Hosts are speaking out. Wear a coffee or whatever the fuck that scarf is, or wear a black armband and shut it down for Palestine. People thinking there's going to be a problem. There was somebody saying the Department of Defense issued a nationwide advisory for tomorrow. That is not true. The Department of Defense website has nothing on it in regards to what might be happening tomorrow. But tomorrow is a pro-Palestinian day. So if I can find any protest, I'll float around one of those. I might live stream, I might not. I haven't decided yet. So, but that is a heads up for tomorrow in case any crazy shit goes down, which I don't think anything will. I think it'll be another snooze fest, but that's that. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go off the air now. Like I said, I got some shit to do right now. I will catch a lot of you guys. I don't think I'll be doing a live stream. If I do a live stream, it'll be Saturday. I'm working tonight, tomorrow night, and Friday night. So I might do one Saturday night. I haven't decided yet. But anyway, guys, other than that, thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for dealing with my bullshit. And I will catch you guys Saturday, or if not, next week.